Good morning, tortoise loving friends. I just fed the boys and I thought we could maybe talk briefly about tortoise enrichment, what we do to keep our little guys happy in their habitat. Alright, so we're going to talk about tortoise enrichment this morning. There is little Misha, our Russian tortoise. And over here is Pyrrhus. He is a golden Greek. I did make a tortoise table tour video a few weeks ago. I forgot to mention this, and I think I probably should, why we made the little like cage cover for on top of the table. So the chicken wire structure that you see, we actually had to do that because our cat Sylvester was climbing inside of the tortoise table to lay under the heat lamp, and obviously that's an issue. So this is strictly to block the cat out. It has nothing to do with keeping them in, just so you guys know that. Okay, so when you're building your tortoise table, or designing the inside of it rather, some things to think about are, first of all, the depth of your bedding. So if you can see right there, actually I'm going to take you guys inside underneath this, you can see. So see that nice hole there that he dug underneath that stick? He can dig because he has a good 4 to 5 inches of that mulch bedding. And I think that's really important for tortoises because they naturally want to dig. They want to burrow. It's how they regulate their temperature. It's how, they hide themselves if they're feeling, they need to do that. So if your bedding is too shallow, you're taking away part of their natural instincts. So I think it's really important. Make sure your bedding is deep enough. You can also talk about where you place the bedding. So I have that little grass hut there, and you can see I stacked, or piled rather, a lot of the bedding on top of it. Over here we have a clay pot. Again, I kind of did the same thing. I piled a lot of the bedding on top to give them a hill to climb over. It just kind of varies the terrain. I think it keeps the habitat more natural. Animals don't typically live in, the most pristine, perfect, flat environment. So, you're trying to mimic the wild. So give them some hills, give them some valleys, things to crawl under, that kind of thing. Throw in a nice stick or two. Got this nice little stick here for them. And, every couple weeks or so, I try to rearrange things. So I'll take that stick, I'll put it somewhere else, I'll lean it up against something. Trying to make the habitat as different as possible so they don't get bored. We've got a big rock here. Again, I'll move that all around, whatever I want to. Got another rock on this side. I mentioned the clay pot already. I really like the clay pot, not just for a hideaway, but because of the clay material itself, when they go in, Misha especially, he loves to burrow in the clay pot. He goes in the back of the pot and acts like he's trying to dig his way out of it. It's really nice for filing their nails down. So it's something that you may not have thought of, So if you go with a clay pot instead of a plastic pot, you'll get that benefit too. So yeah, he goes in the back and basically tries to crawl his way out. And in doing so, that repeated digging motion against the clay, he files his own nails, which is awesome. Pyrrhus does a little bit, but not as much as Misha. Water sources, so make sure you have a little pond. In the pond, the water really shouldn't be, for these size tortoises anyway, any higher than about an inch. An inch of water is pretty safe for them. Again, we have our little grass hut that they can crawl through. So basically it's just like a little grass hut tunnel. Different light sources. So UVA basking bulb, UVB bulb, another basking bulb over here. And I will change up where I hang the lights too. So, you don't have to be dedicated to one spot, so switch it up. Maybe I'll bring the UVB bulb way over here, whatever. This is something to consider. We have some fake plants on top. Just make sure that you hang them high enough that your tortoises won't mistakenly eat them. They never have. I don't think that's really too much of a concern. they're not stupid. They can tell that it's made of plastic or whatever it's made of, fabric. But it just kind of gives them something from above to kind of hide under. Again, just trying to make the habitat as natural as possible. Change up where you feed them. Don't always feed them in the same spot. So yesterday their food was here. Today it's here. Tomorrow, who knows? It could be back there, whatever, wherever I decide to put it. But this is basically our little setup. And then, like I said, every 2 weeks-ish, I will move things around. And I would say probably twice a year, I'll try to swap out something and buy something entirely different. So like last year's purchase was the grass hut. And they got a new stick. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds silly to say that, but like those things make a difference. You know, they don't deserve to live in like the same little box all the time. So the more you can switch it up, I think the better. And also, obviously, to kind of close this video, I think the size of your tortoise table is really important. This is a, 3x3 area, 3x3, so obviously it's 3x6 in total, but if I only had one tortoise, I would say minimum 3x3 for each one of these guys. So the size is also really important. Nice overhead shot there. Let's see what's going on. Alrighty. Alright. Bye, little P. Bye, Mish. Alright. See you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe. Peace out.